Good day, welcome. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? I don't want to waste much of your time. It is an administration of probing ex-ministers and ex-federal commissioners over alleged monies laundered in previous and subsequent governments. Alright, I have brought you updates on various ministers that have been arrested, public arrest, not secret arrest, okay? And this is the more reason why I feel very soon, I am not jumping into conclusion, very soon I will be applauding to a high degree the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission under Ola Olukayode. Yes, and I don't know whether it is his own administration or it is a directive from the president. If it is his own directive for this arrest to be taken, of course, we all know that it is the agency's objective to make sure that they recover stolen money from public coffers. If it is his own directive to do this, then kudos to him, but not yet. If it is that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then I would love to see more ministers in his administration being probed. All right, we have Atiku Bagudu, plenty of them. We have Femi Gbajabiamila, we have Bello Matawale. Don't just use Beta Edu as a scapegoat. Why am I saying this? The ex-minister of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Charles Ugu, has been arrested by the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for alleged involvement in fraud and money laundering in the tune of 3.6 billion naira. Recall that the same Mr. Charles Ugu, who is the PDP chairman in Imo State, was actually suspended sometime last year, towards the end of last year, for alleged involvement in misconduct. The PDP were not elaborate about the sort of misconduct he engaged in. But I think by this time around, his cup has been full. Charles Ugu's cup is full, and that is why things became haywire for him. So he has been arrested, public arrest, in his residence in Imo State, and it was a thing of disgrace and embarrassment. I have a documentary that will explain that more elaborately. A former Minister of Commerce and Industry, Mr. Charles Chukwuemeka Ugu, and one Chief Geoffrey Ekemma have been arrested. The duo were arrested by operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission over an alleged conspiracy and fraud to the tune of 3.6 billion naira. The minister and Chief Ekemma were arrested by operatives of the Lagos Zonal Command of the EFCC on January 11, 2024 at number 2 Musa Yaradua Way, New Owerri, Imo State. Mr. Charles Ugu and Chief Ekemma were arrested following a petition to the EFCC from a New Generation Bank on the alleged fraud perpetrated through a company, Ebony Agro Industries Limited, linked to the ex-minister Dele Oyewole. The spokesperson of the anti-graft agency said in a statement on Monday. Investigations revealed that Chief Ugu and Mr. Ekemma, managing director, Ebony Agro Industries Limited, allegedly obtained a loan facility from the bank for the purchase and production of polished rice. However, the suspect, according to the petitioner, failed to meet up his obligations to the bank, and all efforts to get him to repay the loan facility proved abortive. EFCC have said the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. Alright, yes, you go to receive loans and you feel because you're a government official, you are not entitled to be probed or to be asked about the loan or to have a follow-up of collaterals on what to give and what not to give and how not to pay the loan, right? And then you delve into public money to take funds and to fuel your personal needs. That is very, very wrong, all right? I am not an advocate of money laundering, neither am I an advocate of stealing from public funds, all right? Whoever is involved must be called out. Femi Gbajabiamila should be on the lookout, because the recent memo that just erupted or emerged from sources is saying that Femi Gbajabiamila actually, through the president, had 3 billion naira approved for various government operations, all right, still linked to the Beta Edu case. All right, so you should be on the lookout because the presidency is trying to use a sort of strategy to cover up the Beta Edu case. But we will still be on the lookout. Now, I have been seeing some comments saying, why do we always bring exposés? We bring these exposés to you because if I ask you, you would really say you are tired or not, but you don't know about these exposés, but we know, all right? If we keep it to ourselves, it's of no use, okay? And it may interest you to know that the Beta Edu's case was brought to limelight and the attention of the government was brought to the Beta Edu case due to media publicity. All right, so don't underestimate any expose we bring here because all these exposes are so important to us, to you, and to the government. All right, if the government cannot do well, then we will make the government to do well. If the operations of the government are mediocre, then we have to make the operations of the government to serve us better. All right, because this country belongs to not only me, but you and I, and it also belongs to other people in governance. But because they don't take the welfare of Nigerians at heart, we have to make them do it by force. You know, that is why we bring these exposés to their doorsteps. So the only favor you have to do for us is to make sure this video goes viral, share them to all your social media platforms, to all your friends, relations, well-wishers, and you know, good allies. All right, share them so they could know and have first-hand knowledge of things happening in the country. Not just to have the knowledge and keep it to yourself, but to make it go viral. All right, that is the most important thing. Now, if you notice, there is a high rate of kidnap and wanton killings in Abuja, the federal capital territory. By so saying, Abuja is gradually becoming one of the scariest federal capital cities in the world. I must tell you. Yes, I must tell you. All right. To that effect, I feel that Nyesom Wike is trying to fail in his duties if he has not failed already. All right, the insecurity in Abuja is on a daily rise and is becoming alarming. All right, under the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima, this is something we have never had in any administration of any president, right from Obasanjo's time, Olusegun Obasanjo's time. All right, so this serves as a sort of eye-opener to we all, because everybody who was under advocacy that Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be chosen as president or should be allowed to govern Nigeria, you have now seen it that the federal capital territory is now under threat. All right, I have somebody to give us more light on this. I have Barrister Bulama Bukarti. He is a security expert and is also a legal practitioner. Please stay tuned.
Sean, what is going on in Abuja is a reflection of what has been happening across Nigeria. If you look at the data, you would see that over 9,700 people were killed last year, that is in 2023, across Nigeria. And last December, over 880 Nigerians were killed and over 600 were abducted across the country. And Abuja cannot be immune to that because as long as you leave insecurity to fester and flourish across Nigeria, then it will find its way to Abuja. Cheon, you and I have held several conversations here last year in which we highlighted and warned that violent terrorist groups and criminal gangs have been moving from northwestern Nigeria and northeastern Nigeria to states across Abuja. And so Abuja currently borders 4 states that are harboring criminal and terrorist cells in their forests. Kaduna, Nasarawa, Niger, and Kogi. All of these 4 states harbor terrorist cells in the forests that are neighboring Abuja. And now these criminal gangs and terrorist organizations have been able to find a way of coming to communities close to Abuja and abducting and killing and maiming individuals. From October 2013 to December 2013, the last 3 months of last year, over 200 people were either killed or abducted in Abuja, in the Federal Capital Territory. And it is not just abductions and kidnappings, it is also increasing armed robbery across Abuja. In major junctions across Abuja, criminals and armed robbers masquerading as taxi drivers and as other businessmen in the city, kill, maim, and rob unsuspecting Nigerians in a way that we have not seen before. Abuja is becoming one of the scariest cities in the world. Is becoming one of the scariest federal capitals in the world. And I think the federal government needs to pay more attention to this crisis so that it doesn't drive away foreign investors, diplomats, and other visitors to Nigeria and affect Nigeria's international standing.
He who wears the shoe knows where it pinches most. Yes, the inhabitants of Abuja, only them can tell us the real story behind these wanton kidnaps has been taking place in the country. Alright, if you're not there, you won't know the extent of damage that these people are suffering. Alright. So all of a sudden, banditry, kidnap and murder has left other parts of Nigeria, and it is now in the federal capital territory. You remember when people in Abuja were crying for security? They were crying for a sort of security such that they called on Nyesom Wike to stop going around to commission roads. Don't go around to commission, any sort of infrastructural project. Please focus on security. This is the main thing the people of Abuja want right now, and this has been the least of their problems. How many security operative headquarters are in Abuja? How many? The defense headquarters is there. The DSS office is there. The headquarters, the EFCC is there. The NSCDC is there. All right. The Nigerian Police Force headquarters is there. So why do we have all these things? The NAF is there. Why do we have all these things? All right. Abuja, of all cities, the federal capital city of a country, is under siege. This should be checked. Okay. There should be something that is wrong somewhere, or somebody somewhere is incompetent. So there should be sacks. We need to hear people being sacked in the next few weeks. Bring competent people, all right? That is why we are always of the opinion that when you're making appointments, don't make appointments based on sentiment. Make appointments based on merit, capacity, and competence, so that we will know what these people can do and what they cannot do. What does Nyesom Wike know about security, for God's sake? How? What? Was it not under his watch that the DPO was killed in Rivers State? Was it not under the same watch that lots of things went wrong in Rivers State? Election was under violence, and so on and so forth. Under his same watch, lawyers belonging to the APC were malhandled and maltreated in a hotel room. I don't know what he did about security in Rivers State in Port Harcourt, but he is the least person I felt should be handed over the ministry of or the federal capital territory, let me say. All right. So I don't know what ages that Bola Ahmed Tinubu used for his appointments though. All right. Now, in another development, there has been a sort of suggestion from one Mr. Dalhatu Musa, who is the Commissioner of Public Complaints Commission in the Federal Capital Territory. As a result of what is happening in Abuja, he feels that local vigilantes, I beg your pardon, and local hunters should be trained, to inculcate them in the security apparatus of the Federal Capital Territory. Now, if you ask me, I am not even of the opinion that local hunters and local vigilantes should be brought on board. Do you know that we have lots of youths that are in this country that are even graduates that have no job to do? Now, you are not only giving them jobs, but you will be giving them the task to protect their country. There are various ways you can protect the country. Okay? There are various technical ways or technologically inclined ways you could use to protect the country. Please watch Dalhatu Musa, a commissioner for the Public Complaint Commission, and then I will tell you what I mean by bringing graduates in. Stay tuned.
Just like I said, the approach right now that we have need to be rigid. We need to re-strategize.
Right.
Like you hear in
when
what I
say
said,
we now, who needs to?
The entire society is not just left for the security alone. I made mention of these locals, the local vigilantes, the hunters, who will definitely and have been complementing the effort of the security forces. They need to be sort of encouraged, empowered, monitored by security agencies, trained to complement the effort of the security agencies, because they live with these people in the rural communities. What we see these kidnappers do is to actually go into places that are unmanned by security. They seems to look at where is more vulnerable, and before there are areas.
So you're saying the criminals themselves have intel?
They should, because you will see them attacking soft spots. You will see them attacking communities that are vulnerable, and before you call any security, they have done what they want to do and have left. But when you have these people on the ground in this rural community, well manned, well trained, empowered through what they call civilian JTF that we see working just like he is, we are suggesting that this should be looked up to. The stakeholders in the communities all around should also be given the responsibility of seeing that security is not just the business of government alone. It's not just the business of Commissioner of Police of the DSS alone.
All right. Now, that was his own take. Hunters and local vigilantes, right? Now, we have a whooping number of, generally, we have an average of like 3,000 to 4,000 students graduating every year from every high institution. All right, we have almost over 2,500 or 3,000 graduates every year. From NYSC camps, we have up to 3,000 coppers passing out from camps almost every year in an average. Not talking about batches now. All right, why don't you bring these people in, train them, and saddle them with the responsibility of protecting the country? Do you think graduates are not ready to sacrifice for the country? Do you think there are no people, do you think it's only people who have not gone to school that are liable or eligible to join the force? All right, there are people who really want to join the force. All right, but because Nigeria is so corrupt, you hardly see people join. We have more than enough security agencies to fight security or to fight insecurity in the country. All right, but every day we record killings upon killings, kidnaps upon kidnaps. How? Why? So I don't understand. When you go now, you see more than 10 army officers protecting one civilian over what? While there are other poor people, poor masses outside the four corners of Abuja or the four corners of the government reserved areas in Abuja that are not protected. You only see 2 or 3 soldier men that cannot even, repel any sort of attack. The other day were 4 places the NTA was attacked. The other year, that was the most shocking news of that year. So how do you expect things to go right when we are embedded deeply and engulfed in corruption? So this is what I have to say. Graduates should be brought in. More people should be recruited into the forces, and then they should be deployed to lots of places with specific instructions. All right. This way, we could curb the problem of insecurity, not just in Abuja, but in other parts of the country. But because we're engulfed in corruption, we will not do that. And you're here telling us hunters. Well, it is good, hunters and local vigilante, but to what extent, what experience, and what training do they have? They should be trained, and then tomorrow you start complaining that these people are holding weapons. Then you fail to differentiate between the Fulani headsmen and these local vigilantes or hunters. No, there should be graduates that will be trained. People who know their left from their right. They should be trained to know what to do about it. Please like our videos, share them, drop more comments. I'm not seeing them coming, I must tell you. I'm not seeing them coming, all right? Make sure you go viral by sharing to all social media platforms, and then tap the subscribe button if you have not done so, and then tap the notification bell so that you will always see my updates when I drop a new one. See you next time. From me, bye.